call me doctor. Hi guys, howdy and hello, welcome back to my channel. My name's Mercy and look, let's be clinical about this, alright? Rationally speaking, you want tea and drama. I have it. You came to me for assistance. As a doctor, let me help you. In my last video, we reviewed The Body Finder by Kimberly Durding. And by we looked out, what I really mean is you watched me cackle and make myself laugh for about 10 or more minutes. I really do love that book, and guess what else? Desires of the Dead is here. I can't wait to jump into it. And then, you know, echoes and then dead silence. Speaking of dead silence, that's exactly how the main character of our next book leaves her. Patient, victims, experiments, expertums. Why am I like this? Anyway, The Chemist is a standalone book by none other than our favorite Stephenie Meyer. Now don't worry, I'm not here to tear it to shreds. I am here as a professional to analyze, hypothesize, and review. What? I don't look like somebody who used to be a bio major to you? The Chemist is an interesting read and I have some commentary. But before we get into that, let's get into the review, or analysis, as it were. We meet Juliana as she goes through her regular paranoid checklist, though I guess it isn't really paranoia if you're actually being hunted. Anywho, she goes to a library to covertly check her email when she gets some mail from somebody called Karsten. Now, we don't know anything about him at this point, but he sounds like a tool bag. She worked for a secret sect of the government where she was known as the Chemist. And now they're trying to kill her. Except, now they need her help. So they make her a deal. One last job and she's home free. Her target? An agent smuggling a biological weapon into the country for a drug czar who was lacing his drugs with the antidotes. Don't you open up that window. Don't you let out that antidote. Popping pills is all we know. Under the cover of being a school teacher. The problem is a trap. Duh. She drugs the teacher and takes him to her secret laboratory.
Will you just get out of my laboratory?
And starts torturing him in her special way. Sexy, right? In the middle of torture, she hears suspicious noises, and then in bursts the previously thought deceased twin brother. Which means, uh-oh, Teacher Daniel really is a teacher, and she tortured an innocent. Happens. Anyway, the brother that was no longer dead was sent in to retrieve his currently being tortured school teacher brother, which is part of the trap. Juliana was a problem for the secret department of the government, and the undead twin was a problem for the CIA, so they figured put them both together and either both problems get solved or at least one of them does. However, they didn't plan on them talking. The two uncover the plan and quickly plot their revenge. Daniel gets woken up and protects Alex from his brother. Obviously, there has to be a part where they're left alone on a dog farm with a guy that prefers solitude and doesn't speak, giving Daniel and Alex the alone time they need to form a bond. So that's exactly what happens. Their bliss is interrupted when there's an attack on the farm that sends them running once more. The group regroups and they take their revenge. Sadly, Daniel ends up getting murdered in battle. Just kidding, his insides are all switched around. Boys are opposites, or in scientific terms, mirror image twins. I met a pair of mirror image twins once. The only set of twins to ruin my identification record. So he's not really shot. They end up healing him. They go off into hiding to live their happily ever after. It's hot. Moving on. Lowell Karsten, the head of the secret government department that is so secret it has no other name other than the department. He was Alex and Dr. Barnaby's boss. There's a scheme for somebody who's trying to run for president. Basically, he's trying to cover something that he did up so it doesn't ruin his chances. He unleashed a biological weapon, and now he has instructed Karsten, with the assistance of the CIA, to handle the matter.
How do you consider it handled, Madam President?
So he can run his campaign, neutralize his mess. Politicians, man, am I right? Even to the end of the book, I'm still unsure if Karsten was actually a good guy. Devers, if he had a first name, I wasn't paying attention to it, because he sucks. The other half of Karsten's team annihilation, he is the CIA jock of the team. It's not all there. Stereotypically less than smart and unwilling to think before taking action. He's also described in the book as short and unimpressive, so I chalk his bad attitude up to having a Napoleon complex. He was also Kevin's boss back when he was Black Ops. Kevin Beach. A former CIA Black Ops agent and the brother of Daniel. He's crass and rude, cocky and brazen. He intentionally sets out to kill Alex because all he knows is that his brother is in danger according to the tracker that he had secretly implanted. He loves his brother, but their relationship is strained due to the fact that Kevin had to fake his death in order to protect Daniel, so he had to be legally dead. For all his faults, though, he truly is just a giant teddy bear, and he's extremely loyal. Val, in time. Remember the time I said Kevin had to have a way to track his brother? Yes, well, that was due to the prostitute and semi-girlfriend of Kevin, who he also paid to seduce Daniel right after he went through a divorce. Her goal was to seduce Daniel and then implant the tracker. You can get creative on how that was going to happen. No, it doesn't work, but can you just... the thought process, or lack thereof. Val also houses them while they're in hiding and plotting their revenge in freedom. I also low-key think she's like a Mr. Grey type of chick, you know? Einstein. Little Einsteins, we need you, little Einstein.
We're going on a trip in our favorite rocket ship, zooming through.
Yes, you heard me correctly. And no, I'm not talking about the old man with the I look like I just got shocked white hair. Einstein is an abnormally large black German shepherd. He's extremely well trained as he's Kevin's prized possession from his dog farm. Oh, did I not mention that? Yeah, he has a farm full of dogs. Jealous, aren't you? I know I am. Sounds like heaven, eh? For all intents and purposes, he's another character in the book. He's fierce and he's loyal. I would not recommend messing with this dog or anybody he's trying to protect. That doesn't end well for the people in the book. It ends in pieces. Lola, another sweet fur baby. She's a precious angel. She's described as this gorgeous bloodhound who immediately takes a liking to Alec. She acts as a personal protection dog and also as an early warning system when the farm comes under attack. Unfortunately, the brave girl is wounded in battle, and so they take her with them before they burn down the house because, you know, cover your tracks. They end up having to drop her at the vet, and we don't hear anything else about her throughout the rest of the book. Though I would like to think that when they ran off for their final Colorado victory lap to build a life, they collected Lola, and her and Einstein had little genius bloodhound German shepherd babies. Daniel Beach, a complete idiot. Most likely suffering from PSD as well as some Stockholm Syndrome. Total sweetheart, but definitely has issues. And is ill-equipped for a life on the run. The most glaring example of this would be the fact that he falls in love with Alex after she severely tortures him. He also does a extreme amount of stupid things that I just feel like are common sense. If you're in hiding and you have a twin brother and your face starts getting run on a news story across the country, it's national news, why do you think that it's a good idea to go to 3 different stores in a rural town where new people are noticeable? And not only that, but then proceed to buy things like you're a new person moving into an apartment. Why'd you buy so much? And he doesn't even see the problem. I'm not saying he's an imbecile, but I'm not saying that. Juliana Fortes. Casey. Mrs. Weeks? Alex. Alex honestly just seems like she got the short end of the stick. The secret department roped her in when she was at a vulnerable point in her life. And she got roped into doing terrible things to horrible people to have an end result that was good for all of humanity. I liked her and I found her to be a resilient and resourceful character. Even through all of the horror and tragedy that she endured, she still managed to keep her humanity. She's a fighter and that's to be commended. Advice. Looks can be deceiving. Don't trust anyone, period. That was my takeaway. No one is who they seem, and paranoia is the key. 2. The government is watching you, only to make sure the citizens are safe and watch for potential threats. 3. Stephenie Meyer is psychic. I'll leave this here. 4. Register to vote. Don't forget to research your politicians and make sure your voice is heard. Politicians could potentially be corrupt and hiding their plots for a biological weapon that they've accidentally released into the hands of terrorists. Your voice matters. I'm not gonna leave you with a quote today, because I'm gonna leave you with some science jokes. Want to hear a joke about potassium? Okay. Two chemists walk into a bar. The first one says, I'll have some H2O. The second says, I'll have some water too, but why'd you order like that? We're not at work. The first chemist excuses himself and goes to weep in the bathroom. Assassination attempt failed. Why can't you trust Adam? They make up everything. I was reading a book on helium and I couldn't put it down. That was a lot of work, friends. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Look, let's be straight. You know you want to watch the video. You know that you want to know when my face is back on your computer. So why not subscribe and hit the bell notification? Know what I'm saying? You picking up what I'm putting down? You buying what I'm selling? This book, like I mentioned earlier, I was a bio major for a brief moment in college. If it hadn't been for the cursed chemistry, I still would be so. But I've always enjoyed science. I love a good science joke. Although I will say Stephenie Meyer tends to beat the crap out of women a lot in her not Twilight books. It's a little concerning. If you like this video, be sure to like this video. Drop a thumbs down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.